Who wants to start? You want me to start?
Welcome to the Weird Birds podcast. You're here with Dominic and Preston.
Doing this from home because of this stupid virus that's going on. How are you guys
And
doing this week?
ooh, I'm bored.
Oh, same. Dude, working from home sucks ass.
Yeah,
Like,
not
there's so
working
much-
from home sucks worse.
Oh, yeah, because I forgot. Sorry. Super insensitive of me.
It's kind of funny because all three of us are in the three different stages you could be at here.
Yeah.
Well, besides
Yeah.
like dying of coronavirus, that would be the fourth stage.
Oh,
Stage
jeez.
4 corona.
Stage
Yeah.
4 corona.
Exactly. So Preston's got.
Stage 3.
Unfortunately, he got
You're
laid
stage
off. He's
two.
stage 3. Doesn't have a job, working at home. Or
I'm
not working at
stage.
home.
I think I'm stage 2.
Dominic's stage 2, where he's got a job still, working from home.
You're stage
Hopefully
1
you-
because you're an
I'm
essential
one.
employee.
Essential boy for essential company.
All right. Well, hey, I missed you guys. It sucked that, and I apologize for everyone, listening and watching right now because this is a day late. But we were trying to.
Whoa. Hold on.
Oh, I'm gonna lose my shit, dude.
Well, no, it's
He's
fine.
good.
I'm
Okay.
here. It just
Okay.
buffered for a second, so.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, that's fine. I'm so sorry that I lit up immediately.
No, you're good. You can just cut that out. So,
Okay.
let's get started
Yeah.
on this list. We've got a lot of things to talk about today.
Yeah. Who wants to start? I've got a couple of things that I want to talk about.
Sounds like you got it.
Okay. So
Sounds like you
Preston,
want
and
to start.
I do want to start. Preston, you and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, and these weird conspiracy theories coming out about this coronavirus, right?
Yeah.
5G
And
stuff.
have you guys heard any of these yet?
5G.
Yes. So the one that I heard, and I was talking to Dominic about this yesterday. I was on the phone with my mom, and she was like, "Yeah, before people can go back to work, they're going to have them tested, and they're going to have to get these cards, and this will be the perfect opportunity for the government to put chips inside of us, since they've been wanting to do that for a while now." And I was like, "What?"
Ben's face. It's like, dude, your mom sounds like she's straight out of the 70s. Like, the government's trying to microchip us. This is how it's going to happen. They're going to track every one of our movements.
Yeah, it's-
So that's so funny.
I think if they wanted to do it, they would have done it by now.
It would
That's
already be
just my
done.
opinion.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sure. Yeah, no, for sure. One that I heard quite a bit, and the reason why he's stuck in Australia because they were, okay, so it came out a couple weeks ago. Tom Hanks, he was diagnosed with COVID-19, and they've been stuck, quarantined in Australia for the last couple of weeks. I don't know if they've made it home yet or anything, but one of the biggest conspiracy theories that came out about him specifically is that the reason he's in Australia and stuck down there is because he's working for other Hollywood, like he's part of like Epstein's circle, and he's transporting, like he's sex trafficking like children for like,
Wow.
yeah. And I was like, first of all, Tom Hanks literally played Mr. Rogers, okay, like the best person in Hollywood to ever come out of Hollywood. Leave him alone. Like, like it's just like all these stupid like conspiracy theories coming out about this topic specifically about sex trafficking children, and it's the perfect way to do it. That's so stupid. Like,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
this is
crazy.
a perfect time because everyone's locked in their houses. This is so stupid.
Yeah. No,
Wow.
that is stupid. That doesn't make any sense to me. People
that's-
will look for anything they can to. Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah, so
The-
stupid.
The one I've heard is 5G, 5G cell towers
Yeah,
that they just started putting in.
yeah,
People are convinced that before 5G came out, there was no coronavirus, and then 5G came out,
and it's been emitting.
and now
coronavirus.
there's coronavirus. So
Are you shitting me?
people in Britain were like burning down cell towers. Like
No
shit.
way.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Dude, that is ridiculous. Like, people are freaking nuts. Okay, that is ridiculous. Yeah, that's just nuts. This whole I feel like this whole virus is bringing out the crazy in everyone.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
like,
I mean, the crazy was already out in me, but
yeah, but I mean, there's not much more to bring out in you in the
Yeah.
crazy. So, I want to talk about the PS5 controller. I'm a huge PlayStation advocate. I love the exclusives, but oh my god, that controller looks insane. It looks, first of all, I think it's ugly. Second, it looks nuts. Like, they feel like there's just too much going on for that controller.
I feel like it could look really cool with different color schemes.
And maybe that's the problem. Like, if they did like a black and red or just blacked it out entirely, maybe it would look good. But I think that blue and white is not good. I just don't think that looks good at all.
Yeah, and they need one thing that PlayStation's needed to do for a long time is get rid of the paddles on the triggers. The top should be a trigger, not a paddle.
What do you mean, like
The
L1?
The R2 button.
Like L1 and R1 need to get rid of those, or just get rid of?
L1 and R1 are good.
Oh,
But the
make it like an actual
triggers
trigger.
Need to be
Okay.
a trigger, not a. They're essentially like
buttons.
R1.
Man,
And-
you know what that shape reminds me of?
What's that?
Reminds me a lot of like an excellent controller that's been out for a long time now. The Xbox One controller.
It really does look like an Xbox One, but poorly made. Like
Yeah,
a poorly designed, shaped Xbox One controller.
it almost looks like a Google Stadia controller too, which I hate.
What pissed me off is, like, I know the new Xbox, like the controllers from the previous model, you can use now on the Xbox Series X, right? I don't know why
Supposedly.
PlayStation just didn't do that.
Have you seen the Xbox Series X controller though?
I haven't. From what I've seen, it looks similar.
It's pretty much identical. I mean, the D-pad looks a little different. I don't like the D-pad as much, but yeah, it's the same controller, and it has a share button. It has an extra button between the start and select buttons.
So it's got like a screen recording button, it sounds like.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because that's kind of similar. Like the PS4 has that controller or that button on the controller. It says share, and you can like record gameplay and like send it to YouTube and shit.
See, now you could do that on the Xbox. You hit the home button, and it brings up the dashboard on the left side, and you decide what you want to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I want to talk about something that was kind of funny to me. I saw this a couple weeks ago, and it's been a story that's been around for a very, very long time. But this couple, okay, and they're this Christian couple, but they're one of those very deeply devoted Christian couples, and they're married. They've been married for a couple years, and they're practicing hardcore celibacy. So they no sexual like intercourse, anything. Like they will kiss they will kiss each other, and that's it. But
Now,
what's that?
what's their reasoning?
It's seen, and that's the thing, is like this isn't taught anywhere in like the Bible or anything, right?
No.
Exactly. Like, I mean, I've read the Bible just a couple of times, and I don't remember picking that up at all. But then there was this like same thing, like this devoted Christian author was like, yeah, like put out a book, and they read this book that was like, oh, if we practice celibacy, there's no matter what, we're going to heaven, because there's no temptation to cheat on your partner, watch pornography or anything like that. So they see this as like, oh yeah, we're just going to go to heaven because we're just not going to have sex at all. So every once in a while, because they did an interview with them, and they're like, every once in a while, we'll talk, and they'll get super hot and heavy, and before we can do anything, the husband's like, yeah, before I do anything, before we start to have sex or anything, I'll go into the kitchen, grab a raw potato, and eat the whole fucking thing.
I read this before, dude. I've read that before. That is so funny.
And then she'll just straight up go into cleaning. Like, he'll eat the whole potato, and she'll go straight into cleaning.
What is nut?
I thought it was a joke,
that
though.
nuts?
Is that
No,
not a
this
joke? I thought it was a
dead serious.
meme.
No, dead serious. This is an
Holy-
actual article. I'll send you the article, and it's...
Was that an article on theonion.com?
Yeah, it was on the Onion. No, it's an actual article. There's an actual couple doing this.
The Babylon Bee.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Like, how could you not... Like, you have this partner you're with for the rest of your life. How can you not be like, I could just get me just a little, right? How?
I do it.
I know you would.
It's
Like,
not that hard. Yeah,
I know
how
it's
hard
not.
is it to eat a whole raw potato.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, what the hell?
But
Why?
why do you
Why is it?
taking time to have sex? I'll
Why?
tell you that.
Why would you? Yeah, it would take the same amount of time. I feel
I
like to
know, but
do that
it's
whole
not
raw
as much
potato.
work.
And the thought of eating a whole raw potato, that sounds awful. Like you'll
Yeah.
eat it just like an
I
apple.
think that's the point.
Just the thought.
And it
It's a
probably-
boner killer.
It's a
Yeah,
boner
just-
killer.
Just the thought of that. Man, the
That is
thought.
so gross.
The thought
then-
of that.
Like there's shut up. there's a YouTube channel called Girl Defined, and
That's probably your favorite one.
oh, dude, it's rough. Like it's the same thing. These two very devoted Christian ladies, and they'll talk about how, like, this one lady just got married. I think it was like about a year ago, and she had never kissed anybody until her wedding day.
Wow.
And she found a dude that was like, yes, let's wait till our wedding day to kiss, until we're married. And they never kissed or anything. And like the only thing I can think of is like, what the fuck is he thinking about the whole time that they're dating and stuff? Like, is he thinking about like
He's like, I can't wait for our honeymoon. We can hold hands.
we're gonna hold hands and we're gonna kiss so hard? Like, what do you think about when you like see your partner and you're sexually attracted to them? What do you think about to not kiss them?
So one of
Dirt.
my
Thinking about printers, dirt. Like, what do you think about?
one of my
remember
mom's
what-
friends, she did that. She waited until her wedding day to kiss the guy, and turns out she's allergic to his saliva.
Get the no way.
So they're married, and she's allergic to his saliva. Like,
Maybe that's what she says, and she's just like not attracted to him at all.
maybe, dude, I have no idea.
She's like,
maybe she didn't-
I'm
maybe she
allergic.
never
I'm
wanted to
sorry.
kiss him. She never wanted to kiss him.
Yeah.
She just wanted his money.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
probably
Then
it,
when they
dude.
could finally kiss, she's like, "Oh, I'm having an allergic reaction, I think." Then she went to a fake doctor and got a doctor's note, and then it's like, "Oh shit, we can't do anything."
That sounded like one of those conspiracy theories about COVID. Jesus, there's a lot of detail in that, Ben.
I've been thinking about it ever since Preston told me about it 2 minutes ago.
So, I don't know if one of you guys can start trying to record your screen as well. Mine keeps on cutting out weird.
Oh no way!
It might be good to have a backup. The audio is fine. But the video is giving me that black screen every once in a while.
Okay.
So it might look bad.
We might just do full audio this week. I don't know. We'll see. When you send it over so I can do the editing, I'll look at it. And if it really is just too bad, I'll just do audio. Not a big deal.
Sounds good.
Yeah. We'll
And
figure it
then-
out for
and then
next
throughout-
week. For the
Yeah,
viewers.
throughout the
I
week.
feel bad
Yeah.
for the viewers, man.
Yeah, you're going to be
what
staring at.
You know
a
what
Weird
I've
Bears
always
logo
said
all
about the
week.
viewers.
Fuck 'em.
Viewers.
I'm sorry. Okay. Another thing too, I saw this dude, and I think this has opened my eyes about what I want to actually do with my life. So, this dude, his name is Patty Mayo. Okay, and he is the most badass like bounty hunter I've ever like seen. He's got a YouTube channel, and he's super awesome.
Does he have like
And-
Mandalorian armor and stuff?
Almost. It's like he has that much gear he carries around with him. Like he's so dope.
Does he have an
Boba
E11
Fett.
blaster rifle?
He has one that shoots rubber bullets. It's pretty dope.
Oh.
So he's like Boba Fett.
Yeah, he's like Boba Fett, but real.
Whoa.
What do you mean?
Whoa. What are you saying?
Jetpack and everything. Like no, I'm just kidding. No, he's a cool guy. He started off as for the sheriff department of LA, I believe, and then he just bounced around the United States working for different sheriff departments, and then he got his bounty hunting license, and the dude's a beast. Like
Does
he
catch,
is.
predators or
He catches people that have bailed on. So he works bounty hunters. They work for bail bonds companies, right? If someone, they catch, they get bail and then they skip their court dates, he goes and picks them up. If they violate their bail, he goes and picks them up. Like it's sick. Like he's probably like 5'8", probably like 150 pounds. He's a tiny guy, but he will like take down dudes my size and bigger. Like
Wow.
he's a beast. He's so cool to watch, and that's kind of like, I think I want to go into law enforcement of some kind, because I've always been super fascinated with law enforcement and with the military. So I think law enforcement would be super cool to get into.
Yeah.
yeah, dude, do it. You're a big guy. You You could
I
wrestle those baddies down.
yeah, and that's another thing too. Is like I'm big enough, dude, to where law enforcement probably like wouldn't be a huge issue.
Oh,
And
Yeah.
like,
well,
and especially with getting in shape, because and right now is the perfect time to get in shape because no law enforcement agency is hiring right now, and no like law enforcement schooling is going on right now. So this is the perfect time to like get in shape and go into law enforcement once this all passes over. So, no, it was really cool. His videos are legit. I'll send you guys some. I was hoping to do, if mine would record, do some like screen sharing and show a clip while we're recording, because I figured this would be the easiest way to do it, but technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So
Patty
Yeah.
Mayo. Huh. I'm gonna have to
look him up, dude. Yeah, he's sick. A lot of his videos on Facebook are free to watch, but I know on his YouTube channel you have to be like, it's like a Patreon basically. You just pay monthly to get access to his content.
Okay.
No, he's pretty legit. Check him out.
That's pretty
Alright.
sick.
So what I want to move to?
What do you want to move to? It's up to you.
next. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Is Trolls. Who watched Trolls?
I did. It was god awful.
You mean
Yeah.
the Trolls
Is it
World
the-
Tour or whatever?
The new one?
Yeah, it was awful.
Why did you
It was
look at that?
horrible. So
Yeah, why'd you watch
Let me
it?
explain. Let me explain.
I want to hear. You're like,
So
oh,
my-
this looks like that new Pixar one, Onward.
No, I was
They
so
are the same
stoned. I was
color.
no, I'm just kidding.
They're the same color.
No, my nephew is starting to understand how to use the TV and stuff. And my card was on file with my mom's Amazon Prime account.
Oh no.
And he was clicking through. He wanted to watch it. He rented the movie. Okay, it was a rental. $22 rent that
What?
movie. Dead ass. $22
How long did he rent it? A year?
It was for one day. Rented it for one fucking day.
Dude,
it was
for
bullshit.
Amazon. I rent movies. If I rent movies, I'm on Xbox.
Because it's like 48 hours on Xbox and PlayStation Network.
The
pretty
last
sure.
time I rented one, it was like 3 weeks, and I
Jesus.
rented. It was a episode of a TV show. I rented it for 3 weeks, and it was only like $4.
That's dope. Anyways, so then Caroline's like, oh, hell yeah. Like, it's rented already. We don't have to pay for it again. But I paid for it in general. Like, I already paid for this damn movie. So she wanted to watch it. So I was like, okay, we'll sit down and watch it. Dude, it was...
Bad?
Oh, it was the worst. Probably one of the worst animated movies I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Expialidocious.
Exactly. Like, it was just so bad. Like, I don't know if you know the premise of it, like this, because they have like pop trolls and like they're all part of their own like musical. I don't even know. It's like segregation, but in a troll world, according to their musical preference. Okay, so they have pop trolls.
I see.
They have funk trolls. They have hip hop trolls, and then the hard rock trolls are wanting to take over the world and like make everyone submit to hard rock. Right?
That could kind of be cool.
It could have been, but oh my god, was it horrible? So it was so bad. So they
You asking us?
what?
You said, was it horrible?
No, I'm not asking you. I'm just saying, boy, was it horrible.
You said, was it? I don't know. Was it?
Yes, it was
Oh
bad.
my
man.
gosh.
Just let me finish, you asshole. Anyways, the hard rock trolls. What they did is they took covers of really good hard rock songs from the back in the 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, and
So like, we all live on a yellow submarine and stuff.
that's not. I used to swear to God, you're like the fucking worst, dude. No, that's not hard rock at all. Anyways,
Oh, okay.
and they would have they would input lyrics to do with like their troll world, and it just turned out so fucking horrible. It was so bad. The story didn't hold up. Like, I don't even know why I was overanalyzing the stupid movie anyways, but it just did not hold up. It was just so bad.
The pop trolls tried to destroy the metal, but the metal was much too strong. Blues
See, if they did
trolls
that-
tried to defile the metal, but metal... Yeah, That would be sick.
See, if they did that, it would be so much better.
Metal.
If we're gonna talk about animated movies here for a second, I'm a little upset about this one, but I'm hoping it turns out okay. I don't know if you guys have seen.
I saw.
They're gonna do the original Robin Hood from the '70s. They're gonna remake it into live action of sorts.
Yeah.
Why?
See,
my
exactly.
Well,
Like,
Why?
why?
I've just
It's
been
gonna come out
expecting
like
these movies to be bad for a while now, so I'm not going to be disappointed because I'm not expecting anything.
What's
But
the
what do you-
audience though? What is the
Yeah.
audience?
I don't know
I
at this
loved that
point.
movie. I loved the original animated Robin Hood. So good.
I think we're the audience
Like it's
I think-
just super weird
I think
audience.
our
Like, who's gonna
age-
watch that?
is who they're aiming it for, but we don't want to watch it.
No.
Now, what would be really cool is if they reanimated all these movies, and they remade them in a Pixar style, maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. 'Cause
Like
it's-
reanimate them because like the
back
new
then, they
technology
could-
would look awesome.
Exactly.
Like do it like the animated like Frozen and Tangled style. Like that would look sick.
That
Yeah.
would. That
And they
would
could
look
and they
really
could definitely
good.
do it.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
But no,
I-
they're
they
gonna
would-
do like
They
a
wouldn't
Lion
have to
King
leave
remake.
stuff out because in the Mulan remake, it doesn't have what's his name, the guy who was Eddie Murphy, who Eddie Murphy voiced. Mushu's not in the live action one.
I have
Because how
no
do you have-
desire to watch that.
No,
I
me
know.
neither.
But if they reanimated it, they could have had Mushu. They could
Yeah.
have Eddie Murphy come back and reprise his role.
Well,
Awesome.
here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets me with these live action movies, okay? There are some terrible parents in the world who their kids, these are the only versions of these movies that their kids have ever seen.
We
Okay.
talked about this, didn't we, Preston?
We
Like,
did, and it's terrible. It makes me sad to think that there's a kid out there that's only seen the version of Beauty and the Beast that's the live action one.
Like your wife. She had
Yeah.
only seen
Like
live
my
action.
wife, but we
She
watched
had never
the
seen
other one,
the
and she
original.
said she wished she would have watched that one first because now when she watches it, she just thinks of the live action one.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Which it's
I
the
mean,
opposite for me, and I'm sure for everyone else, or a lot
Yeah.
of people that have watched the classics, they're watching these and they're comparing them to the old ones, and maybe that's why they're so terrible. How about we make some new movies? Let's stop remaking the same stuff that was
Yeah.
successful back then, but make it
Yeah. but the
poorly
problem
now.
is when they would make new movies, they just rehash old plot points over and over again. I mean, even the new movies aren't original most of the time.
That's
I
true.
saw Knives Out this week.
That's a good one. I actually really enjoyed that.
It's a good movie, but it's like every other
Like every other murder
every
mystery
other-
movie.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no originality to it.
Some of
I
them-
love Chris Evans, but it wasn't
was
very
well
original. It was good. Like overall, it was a decent movie. But I wish, like kind of like you were saying, like they would have gone more of an original route to it. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
no, I thought like the end of that movie when she gets everything and kicks everybody out of the house, dude. Oh, that was so cool.
It was
That was
cool.
such a good movie.
Speaking of good movies, have you seen War Dogs?
Dude, that is a good movie. That reminds me of like it's like a less intense Wolf of Wall Street. That's what that movie reminds me of.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that movie's hilarious. Freaking Jonah Hill in that is just hilarious.
Jonah Hill does a really good like scumbag.
He's so good in that movie.
I feel like Jonah Hill doesn't get the praise that he deserves because if
Oh,
you've
I
seen
agree.
where he's from, like if you guys have seen like Superbad, okay, and then that's a good movie, and then if you watch like The Wolf of Wall Street, War Dogs, if you watch even his role in 21 Jump Street's different. Like he just has grown so much as an actor. He does not get the praise he deserves, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he ever sees this, shout out Jonah Hill. You're awesome.
Yeah.
You know, good luck on your fluctuation of weight for some reason. He's always
Dude, it's
fat and then not.
crazy.
It's so weird.
In that War Dogs movie, he is so fat. Like, he is.
Yeah.
And then there's other
Like
movies
21
also.
Jump Street where he's like, yeah, 21 Jump Street, he's like definitely under 200 pounds. Like
Yeah.
he's tiny.
Yeah.
Super weird.
Yeah.
Caroline and I just watched it was rough, man. Have you guys ever heard of Dear Zachary?
Nope, I have not.
I haven't either. No.
So it is. I recommend you guys go watch it. I'm gonna spoil a little bit here though. This young man from California. Like it's about
this
this.
is the one you were telling me about last week.
Yeah, No, this is the one I literally just watched it this morning.
Oh,
No, it's
Yeah, no.
not that. But he, God,
Yeah.
I'm trying to put it together here.
you just watched it.
I literally just watched it this morning.
Okay,
So
let's get it up.
he becomes a medical student, goes through his I guess like clinicals or whatever they call it, and he meets this lady, and she's like 40 something, and he's like 20 something, and they start dating, and he ends up dead, and they have a kid together. Dude, it's just a roller coaster. Take Tiger King and multiply it by like 90.
Huh.
It's just a roller coaster, dude. It's nuts. Because did you guys both watch Tiger King?
I've watched parts of it. Yes.
So you know how much of a damn roller coaster Tiger King is, right?
Yeah, it's
Preston?
whack, dude.
So this one is like Tiger King, but way more heavy. Like it's just so sad.
Huh.
So she ended up killing him, but 4 months later found out that she's pregnant with his kid. Like she's 4 months pregnant with his kid, and she killed him.
What
But
the?
she flees the U.S. and goes in Newfoundland in Canada, and they're not extraditing her in time. She has the baby. The grandparents, so the dude that dies, his parents go to Newfoundland to be closer to her and the baby, and then a couple months later, they're about to find out if she's going to be extradited to the U.S. and they can go through trial and everything. All of a sudden, she and the baby end up dead.
No
It
way.
is, dude. And she tried framing one of the neighbors to make it look like he killed her and the baby, but really she did it. It was,
What the? What's
Dude,
the
it
point of
was a-
framing someone if you're dead?
like, it was nuts. Like she left some certain like DNA, like stuff that had her DNA and the baby's DNA on his door, like in his front lawn next to her car, because that's where she parked it. And dude, it's just a freaking roller coaster of like emotion, because then you're like, oh great, like, oh, he meets someone that's so super awesome, and then he dies, and then you're like, oh shit, she's a bad person, and then she has a baby, and then you're like, oh great, the grandparents get to take care of the baby, and then Canada's like, yo, you know what, you can skip bail and everything, you can get out on bail, you're totally good, and they let her walk free, and then a month before she's supposed to get extradited. Like it's wild. It's just
Wow.
nuts.
That sounds crazy.
I recommend you guys go watch it, because there's a lot more details in there that I'm obviously missing and skipping out on. But like the whole time was just nuts, man. It was crazy. Yeah. So I don't know. We don't really have there's nothing going on in the world right now to give us enough topics to talk about this week.
Well, let's
That's
talk about
true.
Final Fantasy VII.
There's some new video games. Lots of new
Oh, yeah?
video games.
What do you got?
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Ben.
Yeah, please, because I hate it.
You know, Final Fantasy.
One of the most overrated gaming franchises of all time.
That's true.
It is like, how can you? It's like you're talking about Pokemon as being boring and shit, right? Because it's turn based and it's not fun or whatever. That's how I feel about Final.
That's my same problem with Final Fantasy. Also, it's not an engaging turn-based combat system
Yeah.
that I like. But the thing
Yeah.
with these remakes that they're doing, this Final Fantasy VII remake is a remake of what was it, 1997 when it came out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a really ugly looking game when it came out.
Yeah.
If you think about Ocarina of Time,
Mm.
Zelda came out the same year.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time looks
A lot better.
way
So
better.
much
And
better.
it was way better.
But still, Final Fantasy VII was a revolutionary game, storytelling wise, and even the graphics. But they don't hold up as well today. And the remake looks amazing. And they got rid of the turn-based combat in the
Did they
remake.
actually?
It's more of a hack and slash.
Okay.
It's like a hybrid of real time and turn based, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it, but it's more like Kingdom Hearts with a little bit more strategy to it.
Okay. I mean, I
It's
guess that could be kind of cool, but
why you
are you
laugh?
laughing?
That sounds horrible. That does not make me want to play it at all.
No, yeah,
Wait, a cross between what? Say it again.
It's like Kingdom Hearts, but with more strategy.
Yeah, that sounds lame.
yeah.
Oh, that sounds so
But
poopy.
it's true.
No,
I mean,
here's
I
the
just
thing, though.
downloaded- Oh yeah.
Remakes done right. This is a remake of a game that if I loved the original one, I think
I would
this
wanna
would
play.
be like, holy crap, this is sick.
Ground up recreation.
Oh yeah.
Like
Like if I actually
Awesome.
played a ton of the Final Fantasy games, because I think I probably played maybe 30 minutes of one Final Fantasy game. Couldn't tell you which one because I just was not engaged, was not. If I liked them and played through them and they were all super fun to me, I would enjoy a remake. I would really enjoy it. But to where I already don't like the franchise, it's just not worth it to me.
Yeah, I think I downloaded Final Fantasy, one of them on the Game Boy, and I was playing
It
it
was
on my
probably the
Game Boy
original,
emulator on
or
my phone,
the
and
first three, I think, on the Game Boy.
yeah, I think I put it away after like 10 minutes, just like you said, Dominic. It was so boring to me.
That surprises me, Preston, because you like Dragon Quest.
That's true, I
And
do.
They're definitely in the same vein.
They are definitely, but I feel like Dragon Quest. I only ever really played one of the games. Well, that's not true. I played the original Dragon Warrior games, which, if you want a game that is really boring, but you play it because you just love it for some reason, that's one of them
Yeah.
for me. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not a fun game. Not really, but it's original and it's so like cutting edge
It was
for
very cool
games
this
that
time.
were coming out. You know, like you go
Yeah.
and all of a sudden there's a monster in front of you. Oh, what are you gonna do? It's like this is the original turn-based game, and these turn-based games came about because the original games were on the computer and they were text, right? The original RPGs where you enter a room, you do this. What do you do?
Yep.
Oh, I searched
Well,
the
that's how
door.
Fallout started.
Oh, you open the door and you fall to your death. Start over, you know? And
Yeah.
that's how it was. And so this game was like that, but with cool music and with color, which is cool. And my dad
You
played
control
those
your
all the
avatar
time.
around more.
So that's one of the reasons that I played it. And Dragon Quest is the new name for Dragon Warrior. It
Yep.
was originally Dragon Warrior, and now it's Dragon
Oh, really?
Quest.
Yep.
And Nintendo has done great things with it. It's come a long way, like since its original
Yeah.
NES game. But yeah, you're right, Ben. And I think the reason that I do like the Dragon Quest games is because of those goggles we were talking about last time, those nostalgia glasses, because I like Dragon Warrior and it has all the same enemies and things in Dragon Quest, where if I had started with Final Fantasy, maybe I would like it. You
Yeah.
know, maybe
And,
I would.
well, the funny thing is they're both made by Square Enix.
That's true, huh?
I'm pretty positive. Let me double check.
I know the remake is Square Enix.
I know for sure. I think when they changed the name from Dragon Warrior to Dragon Quest, it might have switched.
Now, the new Dragon Quest on the Nintendo Switch looks awesome to me.
Yeah, I do. I actually want to get that game, and I've heard great things about it. So let's see. So it started as a Nintendo only thing, but yeah, it is published by Square Enix.
Square Enix. Okay.
And they were-
Interesting.
So I mean, and one thing I've heard is Dragon Quest Builders. It's like Minecraft,
Huh.
but it's Quest themed, and the graphics are better than Minecraft. They're still blocky, but
Right.
apparently it's awesome.
I have a buddy
enemies
that
you
plays
can
the
fight.
shit out of that game.
Dude, I
Really?
hear that game. I hear that game is awesome.
I've
Like,
never even heard of it. That sounds so
no,
sick. Is it
dude,
just
I
on the
hear it's so
Switch?
cool. It's Switch and PS4.
Oh, I can get it. What the hell, dude? I have. I didn't even know that. I thought it was just Switch.
Yeah,
I have a
it's
buddy
Switch and
that
PS4.
he plays the shit out of that game.
Yep. I
He
hear that
loves
game's
it.
so cool. I haven't played it, but I've heard really great things about Dragon Quest Builders. So maybe we'll have to
Speaking-
try that sometime.
Yeah, that would be sick. Speaking of Nintendo Switch, you can't find one right now.
at all. And I can't tell you how fucking pissed I am at that. Like, I cannot find one anywhere.
Me
like,
too.
We got a light, and we talked about this last week. We got a light for Caroline, and the only place we found it was this super weirdly obscure furniture store that carried like 19 of them, and not one person came and got one.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing people on Facebook like flipping switches for 3 times the amount.
Oh,
like, this
yeah.
guy, I have an ad open right now, $1,100 for a used switch. For a used switch in 7 games. I'm like, dude.
Oh my gosh.
That is
Price
ridiculous.
gouging. It's
ridiculous.
Gouging.
So here's the thing. Megan and I were sitting
actually-
there. I've been sitting here for a couple weeks now, doing absolutely nothing. Looking for jobs, trying to find something, but no one's hiring right now because Corona. Stupid.
Like, look at this. Refurbished for $375. $375 for a
Hey, but that one's got the better battery. That's the red
Yeah,
box.
but it's refurbished. That means it's used still.
That's
Like,
still a good
that's-
price.
Anyways, I'm
Better
sorry, go
than
ahead.
$600.
Anyway, that's your amoeba.
So anyway, Megan and I are sitting there, and I'm sitting here doing nothing, and I'm playing all my games, and I'm trying to think of something to do, and all of a sudden the thought pops into my head. I'm like, man, you know what I would love to be doing right now? I would love to be playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, or I would love to be playing like the new Dragon Quest or Animal Crossing or literally anything on the Switch. And so I was like, hey, maybe we should get a Switch, you know? I mean, we're just hanging out. We have a little bit of money saved up, not a lot, but we have a little bit. And so we decided to use our dwindling funds to buy a Switch. And then I looked online, nothing.
Nope.
The cheapest one that we found, I saw that Amazon is selling it for like $695.
Yeah,
which
bullshit.
is awesome. Yeah, no, I was pissed. I could not find a Switch this week.
You know what? I'll go look for both of you guys.
Thank you. Can you go on you can look on base, right?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
That'd be so
yeah.
I'll
sick,
hop up
dude.
there and see what. I bet they're gone, but we'll see.
Yeah, if I will Venmo you if you can find me one.
Yeah, fingers
Yeah.
crossed, dude. Fingers
Well,
crossed.
I think we're. They probably closed today. We were thinking about maybe going up there today. If they're open today, I'll go look today.
Okay.
Even if if you guys aren't committed to it today, I'll go at least look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
I
sorry,
am.
Preston.
I'm ready to Venmo you. I'm on my phone right now.
Just $300 in advance. If you don't find it, keep it. It's fine.
All right, that sounds good to me. Yeah, but that's crazy. The Switch shortage of 2020 and Nintendo.
This is worse than Corona. I know that's insensitive, but it's worse.
It is. They have Nintendo released a statement saying that it's on their end. They aren't able to ship them right now. So
Well, I also read that it was because I know that those who have put orders in, they'll ship them too, but right now they can't ship out mass shipment.
yep. Yeah, so they
Interesting.
can't,
That's what it was.
They can't get them out to the stores and shit, but I mean they can. And when obviously it happened right when Animal Crossing came out.
Yeah.
So all of the casual Nintendo fans went and bought them. I mean, I have so many people on my Twitter who I never think would even touch a Switch
Bought it
They
for
got
Animal
'em
Crossing.
because
Yeah.
Animal Crossing came out, and then
Yeah.
the quarantine pushed some people even further, and they're like, "Man, I really didn't want to spend money on a Switch, but here I go."
Yeah.
Like,
Here I go
can't
with
buy
nothing to do, you know?
it.
Yeah, and that's one reason why I'm pushing to get a Switch. So, but at this point, like if I can't find one now, I'm not gonna pay more than $300 for it because I can wait a couple of months
Yep,
and
totally.
I can find one for $300.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would wait.
A brand new one for $300. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
stupid to even look for used ones right now because people are pushing $450, $500 for just a Switch.
Yeah,
And I have one guy on here that I messaged a couple weeks ago, and it was here. Let's see what I said to him. So it was he posted it for $780. Okay, and I said all I need is the Switch and the dock will give you $300. Okay, and this is for a used one. $300 for a used one. I feel like that's fair, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I get all the notifications from him what he's doing with the listing because it's like, yo, message this guy again, right? He's reduced the price to 600. 2 minutes later, reduced the price to 580. 2 minutes later, reduced the price to 560. And I texted him again. I was like, dude, just give me the Switch for 300. He never said a thing.
No way.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. I mean, like, and I was talking with Nathan about this a little bit, and he's kind of right. The Switch, like I've never felt like a Nintendo game. Nintendo puts out a ton of games that are like big full length games, right? And even I even feel that way about Animal Crossing. I spent $60 for Animal Crossing, and I don't feel that way. I don't feel like it's a big full length game to spend $60 on. And he was like, dude, $300, you could just go get an Xbox One and play all these Xbox games with us. And I was like, you're probably right. And there's so many more Xboxes out there that are more reasonably priced than the Switch right now.
I think
But
you
I'm
can
not gonna,
get
either way. I'm not going to do that.
you can get the
I
Xbox
totally-
One that doesn't have a disc drive for $150 right now.
It doesn't have a disc drive, so you just buy everything for like digitally,
Digital.
right?
Yeah, like everyone does now anyway.
That's not a bad idea. But like, I mean,
You
either
are
way,
crazy. You
Why?
are crazy.
why?
You don't think Nintendo puts out full length games, dude?
I mean, there are not okay.
Animal
I didn't
Crossing
say in
has-
general. There's some full length games that are like Breath of the Wild, super good full length game.
Hundreds of hours, dude.
I've dumped.
Oh yeah, you're totally right. But
I've dumped
and
like
that game,
50 hours into Animal Crossing so far, and I haven't even scratched the surface of what I can do.
I think I've put in probably 20 to 30 hours, and it's fun, but I don't see it as like a big feature full length game.
Interesting.
Depending
Breath of the
on what-
Wild. Breath of the Wild, I would pay $60 for. That's a full length game.
Well, the Animal Crossing is an anomaly. It is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
If
That's
you want
true.
it to last 20 hours and you only do so much, that's what it is. Because it's a game that has no end.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I can't agree with you, because it's.
That's true, it is,
If
and-
you don't feel like it's
I mean,
full, then it's not full.
If you're
But,
you're looking
that's the
at,
thing is like, go ahead.
are you talking about like single player story narratives? Is that the kind of game you're talking about, Dominic?
See, and that's why I buy games. I buy games for the
Yeah.
new, like Modern Warfare 2 just came out remastered on the PS4. I bought it immediately because that is one of the best stories in
The
Call of Duty
campaign
history.
is sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. And I would pay $20 for just the campaign.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what they did. But if they were going to put out campaign and remastered online, oh hell yeah, I'd pay another $40 for that.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the best Call of Duty games to come out, right? So to me, I feel like Animal Crossing, although being a very good game, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying it doesn't feel. I don't feel like paying $60 for that game is worth the full $60.
Well, I think you're definitely on the correct console if you're looking for single player narratives, because PlayStation outbeats everybody by far
sure.
with
And that's
single
why I
player
bought it.
narrative games. As far as Nintendo goes, they have a lot of sandbox games that you can play as long as you want to, just like Ben was saying. I mean, Mario is kind of the same thing. You can play it as long or as short as you want. There's bonus levels you can play if you want to, but you don't have to,
Right.
So
Mario Odyssey,
yeah.
dude, I've dumped 120 hours plus in that game.
And maybe I
working the
again
way through all the content.
Yeah.
and maybe I just haven't played enough because I've never even played any Mario Odyssey game before. Never played a single one. I loved like the Paper
There's only
Mario
one.
games that came out for the
Odyssey.
for the Game Boy for the GameCube and for the Wii. Those were super fun.
Dude, Paper Mario. Ah,
So fun.
Doggio.
did I mention this? Did I mention this last? The Mario news that I have heard rumors about last week.
Maybe you did.
Well, stop me if I have, but so the rumor. So this year is the 35th anniversary of Mario,
Right.
and Nintendo's got to be planning something big. They usually, I mean, for the 25th anniversary, they did something decently big. Zelda was more important on the 25th, but
Was it Skyward Sword or was that
Yeah.
the 50th? Oh, that was
was
25th. Dude,
and
the soundtrack that came with Skyward Sword.
yeah,
Oh gosh.
which next year is Zelda's 35th. So we'll
Oh,
But-
mama.
see. Mario's got its 35th this year. They have a Lego set coming out, which you guys
Oh,
gotta
wow.
check that out. It seems kind of cool. It's more for. It's interesting. Just check it out. They've got a partnership with Levi's right now, where they're putting
The
out
Gene Company.
jeans and overalls. Mario
Get the out. No way.
apparently they're-
That's so fun. I might go pick up a pair. That's awesome.
apparently they're really fun.
We should all get a pair of the overalls.
For real, and then wear them for next week's podcast.
Yeah,
But
that'd be
then-
sick.
Nintendo doesn't really have anything big coming out this fall. So the
Right.
rumor that came out from, I don't even know the source, so that it's not very credible, but I just want to talk about it. It's Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Super Mario 3D World, all remastered and put into one
Whoa.
package on the Switch.
No
One
way.
game,
That would be
it has
sick.
all of them.
That would be
That would be
so dope.
Dude.
Super
That's way
Mario
cool.
64? Heck yeah,
and
dude.
Sunshine.
Sunshine
That's
is
way cool.
sick.
So we'll see what happens. And then they also said possibly a new Paper Mario game that'll come out.
Oh, that would be
Mario
dope.
2. But the last two Paper Mario games have been very disappointing. So it could be dope. It could suck. But
So I have
If that's
something
true.
that I want to talk about, kind of switching gears a little bit, but going along with games that I think that you would like, Ben, and I want to get your take on this. Netflix just came out with season 3 of their Castlevania series in March, the beginning of March. And so I watched all of them, and it was pretty sick. It's super graphic, super dope. There's a part where, because Castlevania, the idea is it's the Belmonts, right? And they have their whip, that's their main weapon. There's this one part where the main character, Trevor Belmont, whips out a dude's eye, and it just flies across the screen. It's crazy. It's
it's
gruesome.
animated, right?
It is. It's almost
It
like
is
anime. It's like Western
not
anime.
quite, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Western anime.
It's like Avatar.
It is. Yeah. It's really good. If you guys haven't watched it yet, you should check it out if
thought
you
about
like
it.
the story of Castlevania. But so
I think Castlevania is really cool.
I've never
But I
played a
can't get
game.
into it. I don't like the games.
So that's the
Never played
thing.
one.
That's the thing I wanted to talk about because they just came out with Castlevania. They have like a whole ton of the original games that just came out, the collection, right?
Yep.
And I bought that.
Symphony of the Night. Is that
Symphony of the Night is not part of it. That one is
game's
one of the
cool.
best Castlevania games. That one was remastered for the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and that one is available on the next gen consoles. But Symphony of the Night is probably one of the best ones that people love. Okay, the Netflix series is based on Trevor Belmont, which is in Castlevania 3, if I'm not mistaken.
3 is right before Symphony of the Night, right?
Story-wise, it might be, but 3 was one of them that came out on the NES because the Super Nintendo one is Simon, I believe. But anyway, which Simon is in Smash Bros. But I started playing these Castlevania games, and they're difficult. I mean, that's one of the things they're known for, is being really difficult, right? Really hard games. The hardest part that I couldn't figure out was walking upstairs. I could not figure out how to get up the stairs, and I was
For some
pissed.
reason, when I think of Castlevania, have you guys ever seen Monster House?
Yeah.
Like one of the best, like my favorite animated movies. So damn funny. For some reason, when I think of Castlevania, I think of them going to that pizza shop and talking to the dude. That's
Napoleon Dynamite.
yeah, whatever game he's playing is so damn funny. Like he just like
forgot about that.
not looking up from the screen at all.
Uh,
But whenever I think of Castlevania, I think of that dude and that game he's playing.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it's relatively the same game at all or same story or whatever. But for some reason, that's all I think of is him just like when he's running out the door and he goes "Ugh," and turns around, grabs like a chunk of her chocolate and goes like so loud and runs out.
so funny.
I haven't seen that
movie's so
movie in
great.
forever. I remember it scarred me as a kid. My dad
What?
took us to see it, and I was like so
Scared to go
freaked
into your
out
house?
the whole time. Like I hated that movie, but I bet it would be funny now.
See, that movie is the best.
With Castlevania,
Yeah.
one of my favorite games, type of games, genre of games, is
Metroidvania.
known as the Metroidvania.
Yeah.
And it's called the Metroidvania because the first couple Castlevania games were on the NES, and they weren't quite in that vein. They were more combat focused than exploration focused. And then when Symphony of the Night came out, I
That
think on
one,
the
yeah,
Super Nintendo, that's when it became exploration based.
right.
And that game's cool, but I can't get into it. I just can't do it. They're too almost RPG like, where it has you pick up different weapons, you pick up different armor, and it's I don't know. I'm disillusioned by it because it's stuff that you have to make the choice on what you're using and your equipment, and that's cool that you can make the choice, but your equipment doesn't change what you can explore at the moment. Not in all cases, but in most cases. So like with Metroid, every piece of equipment you get
Opens a new section of the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way they build some of those games, there's some really cool videos I got to put you guys on about how they build those games.
Yeah.
The good ones are built very intricately, where you have a ton of places to go, and you have to rely on your own mental memory
Of what's where. Yeah.
They showed you it. They just put something barely out of reach. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. I just can't get into those games.
No, that's sick.
That's my favorite genre.
That's why I thought of you when I was thinking about this, because I was looking at Castlevania games and I was playing these old ones and I was like, man, these are not like Metroid at all, And I was like, well, what am I doing wrong here? So I looked up Metroidvania Castlevania games and I started playing just a couple of those ones, and they're really fun. I mean, they're not as fun as like Metroid Zero Mission, which I played a ton of, and
so cool.
Every time I think of Metroid, I think of you, Ben, because you're just a huge Metroid fan. But this whole thing, I've been really into roguelite games as well. And
Dead Cells?
Do you guys know what roguelite games are?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dominic, do you?
I don't.
Okay, so I'll explain it for you and for the listeners and viewers too. A roguelike game is one where you have a certain abilities, right? And you go into a dungeon or something and you see how far you can get, but when you die, you're dead and you just have to start all over and see how far you can get the next time, right?
But they give you, there's usually with most roguelikes, there's some items that can carry through death.
Yeah. So there's two different genres. One is roguelike with a K, which is you just go through and you die over and over again. It doesn't give you anything that you can keep. Roguelite is with a T. That's the one where you can keep things. And so this is where I'm going with this. I've been looking for Metroidvania games. I've been into roguelite games, and I found Dead Cells. Dude, oh my gosh. Have you guys played this game?
I've never even heard of that. What is it?
It's like a mix of Dark Souls and Castlevania, and it's a roguelite.
Dude, aggressively that. I would not even touch that game.
Is that how you describe it? No, or
so that's how they describe it, the developers. It's not quite as hard as Dark Souls, though, in my opinion.
It's not.
The action, it is like Dark Souls in that it's difficult, but it's also kind of like Castlevania in that aspect too, because Castlevania is kind of difficult, but Metroidvania definitely, because it's all about exploration. There are certain things that you can find. There's like a ton of different biomes that you can go through, and you're trying to get to a central location, but there's like 7 different paths that you can take. So every time that you play the game, it's different. Plus, there's tons of different weapons that you can use. There's bows, brutality weapons, which are like melee weapons, tactics. There's like shields and turrets and stuff you can use. It is so sick. It's one of the coolest games I've played in a long time.
It's kind of like a non-stop grind, though, because it's the reason I stopped playing is you play to get more strong for the next time you play. So you play just to die. You're going to see as far as you can get, as much as you can collect. Then when you're done with that, you're going to come back and you're going to be a little bit stronger. Not a ton, but a little bit, or you have a little buff that you got. Or you got some extra items, and it shows everything that you've collected up in these jars in the spawn point every time. It's really cool. Graphics are really cool. Everything.
Really quick, I'm sorry to like kind of sidebar.
No, we've kind of got on a tangent.
Did you play Spider-Man PS4?
Yeah.
Preston?
No, I haven't. I don't have a PlayStation.
Negative.
Okay. probably one of my favorite games. Okay, it was just so much fun, really good to play. They've leaked some information about the second one.
Do you
Oh,
feel like you're
Okay.
Spider-Man? Do you
Do
feel
I
like
f- do I feel like I'm Spider-Man?
yeah? Does
Like
it
in
make
the
you
game?
feel like you're Spider-Man?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
he's making
But
fun
they-
because every
I
game,
know.
Every superhero game, the reviews go, it makes you feel like
it
Batman.
makes you feel like
Makes
so
you
and
feel
so.
like you're Spider-Man.
But they've leaked some info about the second one. Apparently, we're gonna be able to absorb like the symbiote suit and fight
Oh,
Venom
yeah.
and Carnage and like the Green Goblin and shit. I'm so stoked.
That sounds awesome. That
I'm
sounds
so
so
stoked.
sick.
It's not supposed to come out for like another 2 years or so, so it'll be a little bit. It'll definitely be on next gen, but I'm stoked either way. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Good. I'd be more
Yeah.
stoked, honestly. I hate it when they rush video games well, you know what my least favorite thing is? When they release a video game on the cusp of a new console coming out. And then it's like,
Oh.
it's not
I know which one
quite
you're
as
talking about.
good as it could have been on the next gen console, and it's a little bit too much for the old console, and it's just in this horrible place in between that it just sucks. You know what I mean?
Shadow of War.
Shadow
Yeah,
of
for
Mordor
real.
was the
Oh.
first one that came
yeah,
out.
Mordor.
Sheesh. Shadow of Mordor, it could have been way better if they just released it on next gen.
Well, that's why they made Shadow of War, I think, because
But Shadow of War was like unfinished. There's so many more bugs in that game than I got in the.
Oh, really? Which one did
Yeah,
you
oh,
play
yeah.
the first one on? PS4 or PS3?
I played them on both. I loved that game so much. I bought it on PSP and then next gen.
Okay, so same here. And I remember playing it on Xbox 360, and I was like, this game is the coolest game in the world, you know?
It's amazing.
And then I was looking up some different, videos of, walkthroughs and all kinds of stuff, and I was like, whoa, are those mountains? How do you see those mountains in the distance? That's not on my game. Whoa, wait, what is that? I never see that. The render distance is like in front of my face, and that's it. Like, oh my gosh. I remember just
And-
getting so pissed, and it ruined the game for me. I couldn't even play it on 360
Really?
anymore.
When you paused it, when you tried to go to the Nemesis screen on the 360, it would take
Loading
5
screen,
minutes.
dude.
No
It would
way,
take
really?
5 minutes to pause the game.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh,
It was
crazy.
bad.
Okay, so let's move on into our segment for today. We're gonna
Final
right.
segment.
final segment for the day. We were going to go from we're gonna take away from the song lyrics for a little bit. What was our segment for today, Ben?
So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go one by one, and each of us are gonna describe the plot of a movie so vaguely
Oh yeah.
that it's almost unrecognizable. We might be bad at it. It might be a little choppy at first. I know I'm gonna be bad at it this week.
Right.
But
We'll figure it out.
yeah, vaguely describe the plot of a movie, and then the others guess.
Okay. Do you have a movie in mind? Because I don't.
Don't make a guess until they're done talking.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
I've got one.
Okay,
Okay,
Ben,
go.
you go.
I don't know how to do it. Okay. So there's this it's about this orphaned kid who grows up with fear of nocturnal animals, and he meets this man who is an immortal man. And this guy teaches him martial arts. And he's an adult now. He's grown up with a fear of nocturnal animals. And this guy teaches him martial arts.
What?
And then some guy comes into their town, and he's trying to make people hallucinate, and he's trying to. I mean, he uses hallucination drugs in the water supply. So the man afraid of nocturnal animals beats this guy up, and then it turns out the guy who taught him is the real villain behind it all.
What the fuck? What was that? Oh my! Preston, do you have any idea?
It's Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Is it actually? Oh my gosh! How did I not get that? I am so stupid. That's very funny.
Fear of nocturnal animals.
That's very funny. The first thing that I thought of when you said nocturnal, I was like, "Oh, he's afraid of raccoons." Okay, I get it.
I was almost thinking like It or something.
That I was on the track of like some obscure Disney movie, and I couldn't. It was ridiculous. I still don't. I don't really have a movie in mind yet. Brett, you have one?
Yeah, I've got one.
Okay, you go.
Okay. I think this one is almost so basic that you'll guess it from this terrible adaptation that I'm about to do, but wait until I'm done. Okay. So there's this man, and he's living in this tiny town, and he grows up his whole life thinking that his dad is dead because of a specific reason, and it turns out the reason wasn't what he thought it was, but he gets with his group of friends, and they go on this adventure, right, to save his other step-parent, and they're just like going around, and he has a lot of like really cool moments where he realizes all these things about himself, and he has a really long fall, and then eventually he just finally like makes this huge stunt that just finally gives him enough where he can save his stepdad.
Oh my god! Oh, I know what this is.
Really long fall.
That's really funny.
Wait, you didn't know what it was before, Dom? I thought you knew it.
No, I'm so stupid.
No, I had no clue. I thought it was Star Wars.
Until you said the stepdad thing, I until it's like save his stepdad, I had no idea.
You said his dad dies, and he's not quite sure how he dies.
Oh,
Yeah, later. So I thought maybe it was Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was. But then you
very
said something about a stepdad. I'm like, oh, it's not Star Wars.
See,
Hot Rod.
the movie's Hot Rod, yeah. And
Yeah,
the premise,
of course, Hot Rod.
the premise is so stupid. I thought you guys would get it really easily.
No.
You had to like you made it sound even dumber than it actually was.
It's hard to dumb down a plot like that
Yeah.
because it's just exactly what it is. It's a guy that does stunts and saves his stepdad.
That's pretty good.
Man. Okay, I've got one, and this movie's even more dumb than that. The plot is just horrible. I don't know if you guys will get it or not, but okay. So there was this guy who one night this man slaughtered his whole family. Okay. And he was just a baby, but somehow was able to make an escape.
I know it.
And it turns out he's like this chosen one of some sort of like alien god creature. And then he has to find the man who killed his parents and kill him. But it turns out this man that killed his parents is also working with the alien god people. And
It sounds so stupid.
it's basically the plot of the movie. And he has to train the palm of his hands to not get hurt to get this alien god dude's like weak spot. And the whole movie is just it's just him going through and like training and stuff. And then my favorite line from this movie, and it's a big part of the plot, is that's a lot of nuts. All right, Ben, you know what it is. What is it?
It's Kung Pao.
Yeah, dude.
I was thinking Harry Potter when you started that. You said chosen one. You said he had to kill the guy that killed his family.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
good.
hilarious.
Harry Potter would have been a close second. That's basically the plot.
That is funny, dude.
Yeah. All right. I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. The video didn't
Thanks
work.
for watching.
at all.
It didn't work. That's okay. The audio came through okay, though.
Yeah, it should.
Okay, cool.
Hope so.
Thanks for listening and partially watching, guys. We'll have some gaming videos up for you guys next week.
Ayo.
All right.
Mamboya.
See you.